Alright, boys, we got content. So apparently, Suge Knight said Snoop Dogg and Harry-O bought Death Row illegally. And your boy Wack100 caught wind of Suge saying what he said, and he decided to respond, man. Y'all know Wack100 can't hear Suge Knight saying anything incorrect or untrue and stay quiet. But what's going on here, man? Big Suge hating from behind the G-wall? He mad that his artist Snoop Dogg finally bossed up and got his own label, and it's the label that Suge signed him to? I don't know, man, but y'all know how we do over here. We gonna let them talk, and we gonna pull up at the end of the clip and have our convo, man. You know the vibes. Is always watching TV. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel and hit that bell so you're notified whenever I drop. Let's get into the content. Okay.
First of all, let me give y'all a little history. In 0203, Death Row was seized. Those of y'all old enough to remember, he started running around with Darrow, D-A-R-O-W. Right? It was seized already. The first half you sold to Koch Records voluntarily. The second half was seized, placed up in an auction and brought by a Canadian lady. So I call this Snoop Dogg Harry. Let's kill that. Right? So we talking 18 years ago. It's seized. Is seized by the government, IRS, the feds. They sell it in the auction to a Canadian lady. Koch Records is a Canadian company. They own half of Death Row already because he willingly sold it. Right? Now, when the Canadian lady get it, they go buy her half of her. So Koch Records now owns the whole Death Row. Okay, so let's count the sales. The first sale was Suge willingly selling half his catalog to Koch Records. Sale 1. Okay. Next transfer was the feds taking it. Okay. Transfer 2. Next transfer was a transfer of, at the auction, from the lady, the Canadian lady, buying it from the auction. Transfer 3. The next transfer is the Canadian lady selling it to Koch Records. Transfer 4. Right? Now, at this point in time, Koch Records owns the whole catalog. The next transfer is the Death Row catalog being brought out because E1 brought out Koch. Transfer 5. Right? The next transfer was when, y'all remember a couple years ago when it said Hasbro now owns Death Row? Right? Hasbro bought E1. Right? Everything as a record company and some other. Right? Transfer 6. Right? Hasbro sits on the company for a year. They don't want to have nothing to do with music. Never did. Their only interest was Peppa Pig because E1 owned Peppa Pig. Hasbro is a cartoon type shit for the kids. They sold the music company to Monarch and kept the Peppa Pig and all the TV. Transfer 7. Okay? Monarch then turns around, realizes that Dr. Dre's 20-year is up on his contract. Just because you selling the catalog, you got to sell the contracts with the catalog. So Dr. Dre, the Death Row catalog had control of all his music for 20 years. So 85% of the money of the $12 million being made off the catalog was coming from Dr. Dre's catalog and Tupac's catalog. So in the same year, 2022, Dr. Dre went back to him, and Tom Wiley, who controls the Tupac estates, won in court his little legal battles with E1 at the time, right? And all the Tupac's catalog went back there. So 85% of that $12 million is not being made. Only things there is Snoop Dogg, Dogg Pound, all that kind, right? Boom. Okay. Transfer 8. Dre going to him. Transfer 9. Tupac going to him. We got 9 transfer. Now here comes Snoop Dogg and his financial team. We want to buy the Death Row name and merch. That's what it started off as. I had a conversation with the label. I said, hey, ain't nothing there but $2-3 million a year. Y'all might as well get your last hoorah tell them give you 12, 13 million for it and come off of it. Because if you sell the name, when you want to put out whatever music you think you want to put out, you got to get clearance from them now. And they're going to charge you up the ass. So you might as well get your last bag and use that money to recoup everything you didn't spent doing everything else. Because Monarch just brought motherfucking the label for motherfucking Hasbro for like 5-6 million. They like, you right, we make all our money back at 100% return. You right. Transfer 10. Snoop Dogg and them are the 10th transfer. So, see, this is where dude go to talking, and he just talking out it, and y'all believe because he's Suge. Now, here goes the question before we play this. How is Snoop Dogg's purchase of it illegal, and the other 9 purchases of it ain't? See, I'm the only nigga, me and a nigga like Reggie Wright is the only niggas that can talk about it. There's nobody else that can talk about it because they wasn't around to understand it. How in the 10th transfer of a catalog, let me rephrase that, a piece of a catalog that's been sold 9 times and transferred 9 times prior to, how all of a sudden it's illegal? It wasn't illegal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, watch this. When you was on the streets, was it illegal when you voluntarily sold 50% of yourself for a certain amount and you got 5%? He got 5% of all urban acts that went through Koch in that deal. Suge would have got 5% that was part of his deal. But guess what? They paid it, but they just had to send it to the IRS. Right? So, here we go. Snoop is the 10th transfer of this catalog. What's left of it? So the other 9 transfers was illegal? And if so, why didn't you file on that when you was on the street? 5 of the transfers happened while he was on the street. 5 has happened since he's been gone. Dre going back to him, inevitable. Tom Wiley getting to Tupac, inevitable. The transfer to Snoop, the buy of E1 from Hasbro, and the buy of Hasbro from Monarch. Those are the 5 transfers that happened since he's been in prison. The other 5, him selling it, the Fed seizing it, the lady buying it at the auction, the lady selling it to Koch, and Koch selling it to E1. All occurred while he was on the street. So why you never filed nothing? This is why they hate Wack. Because I come in and kill off all. That nigga said, all eyes on me, and the Tupac is going to come back to me. Nigga, it was sold 5 times for you went to jail. And now, all that music has went back to the artist. What is he talking about? This nigga's the Tupac mama. You know, y'all not stupid. Everything. She passed everything with the Tom Wiley. Tom Wiley was funding that bill. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. This is what I'm going to want. Something happened to you. This is my, right? She put that up. She died. Certain money was owed. It went to Tom. Not the sister. He ain't got no kids and no wife. Everything went to Tom Wiley. He controls all that. He ain't did nothing crafty to do it. That was the deal. What it was. So how is this nigga talking about everything is going to come back to me? How is something going to come back to you that was sold 5 times prior to you going to jail, and the legal battle in court, the Tupac estates and E1 was going on 12 years, and they lost in court? How is it going back to you? Nigga, it been on 5 different times. And now, so they going to go to Tom White to the stage and say, Suge Knight's out of jail, we got to give him back your music.
From my opinion, it sounds like Suge is a little bit salty about Snoop obtaining Death Row Records, man. If what Wack is saying is true, then it was a very legal transaction, Mr. Knight. Maybe Suge just trying to get people to talk about him, to promote that new series he got coming. Or Suge in jail losing his mind, man. What's going on? Maybe he getting old and Alzheimer's or something. I don't know, man. But what y'all think about this? Wack don't miss nothing when it comes to Suge Knight, man. It ain't no stalling Suge Knight out. The minute he says something wrong or incorrect Wack100 is on his head top. He's making sure to correct and clarify all information, man. But y'all pull up in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about this, how y'all feel about this. Do y'all even care about this? And until next time, I'm out of here. Gang.
Somebody's Always Watching, my favorite YouTuber.